Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Supernatural Link Network and Mariner of Spirit. I'm Greg. I'm your host, and it's been great. It's been a crazy afternoon. Our guest tonight now is Mr. Rex Nielsen, and he is an investigator and he works for Veterans Voice Radio, and he's a fantastic artist too. So Jenny Davis is sick, and I think I posted it around, but I'm going to mention it anyway because we'd like her to get better real fast. So before I go ahead and bring on Mr. Rex, I am going ahead and mention the things that I normally do with the show in the beginning. And we normally talk about the people that I support. And I'll try to make it a little simpler now. Number one is PKC, Paranormal Kicks Cancer with Chris Gaskowski and Alex Wilkinson, and they're from Florida. And what they do is they do fundraisers, haunted houses, events where they charge for their expertise and admission to the location, and they use that for all the funds that they get are used for cancer research. Number two is Potographs, and there's no particular order in these. They're both very, very good charities. And Potographs is a group that's done with Tim Miley and his wife Lauren, and they're out of Wisconsin, and they do fundraisers and they do events, and they're going to have one on the 24th and 25th, I want to say, of April. And it's going to be, I believe, up in Houghton Lakes, Michigan. And you'd have to go ahead and go to Potograph's site and see what the prices are and if there's even any tickets available still, because they usually do a fantastic job as far as going ahead and having some great speakers. One of the people that I remember that they had, and I haven't seen him for quite some time, and I'm just going to bring it up now. And I'd like to know a little bit without going ahead and coaxing him out. And that's Mr. Tim Woolworth. And he's a fantastic ITC guy. And he's been sort of like how could you say? I admire the man. And I admire a lot of people in ITC, all the people that I work with. And he is one that I haven't seen for quite some time, and I'm wishing him the best. And I hope he's fine. And if he ever gets the opportunity to drop me a message, that would be great too. But anyway, without further ado, besides that, I have the authors. And the authors are the people that have been on the show. And it's people that are very well known in the community. And I'll start out with the names, and I'm just going to list the names. And it's Bruce Halliday, Tobias Wayland, Adam Benedict, Kathy Kressel, Barnaby Jones, Cheryl Lynn Carter, Dr. Heather Lee Langdon, Lynn Monet, Ron Iacovetti, Victoria Menday, Tony Rathman, Natalie Jones, Patty Negri, Sylvia Schultz, Amelia Cotter, Mr. Rex Nielsen, David Sloan, Christina Bloom, D.A. Wysong, Joseph Hellant, and Dr. Rebecca Foster. So without further ado, since this gentleman has been so nice to go ahead and come right on the show, I'm just going to go ahead and bring him in, and we're going to start this off with a bang. So here he is. This is Mr. Rex Nielsen. He's an amazing artist. He's an investigator. He's like my big brother in the respect that he's very much larger than I am. And I don't mind putting him on the spot about it because I think it's tremendous. And he loves people as much as he is big. So, that's a quality that a lot of people don't have. And I wish they all did if they were as big as he was, because I've been chased by a few that aren't really like that over the years. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start it out and say, Rex, thank you for coming on the show at last minute notice. I know Jenny Davis is sick tonight, and I just want to go ahead and start off by talking or having you go ahead and letting everybody know a little bit about what you're about, and we'll take it from there.
Alrighty.
So go have at it, man.
I'm honored that you asked me to be on the show. I mean, I'm there for you anytime. So,
we're gonna do it again. Like I said earlier, we're gonna have a regular show, and this is last minute. And I appreciate you coming out of
absolutely
hiatus in your house. You didn't kick and scream or anything. So,
no, I didn't. Some people may know me, some may not. I'm retired law enforcement after 31 years. I retired in 2019. I put my art on hold for close to 40 years, and I'm back into it full time. I still do the paranormal, but basically just with family and friends. I don't go out. I can't travel right now and do big events. So, and if anybody's looking for my books, I'm sorry, they are out of print, but I'm going to be self-publishing, so I will get them back out again. But as of right now, if you go to Amazon, it comes up, but it says no longer in print. So, and I want to thank Veterans Voice Radio. They came to me and they wanted somebody to do art therapy and do a webinar, and I do it every 2 weeks on a Tuesday and Thursday at 7:00 Central Time. And what it is I do pointillism, which is all my pictures are done with dots. And it's been therapeutic for me. And I'm showing how it can help anybody. And I really want to do all I can for the veterans and the first responders and the police that are out there, because it's a tough job. And when you retire from it, you're going 1,000 miles an hour to zero. And the hardest thing is to focus and not focus on all the negative. And after 31 years, there was a lot of dark things and stuff that I didn't want to remember. And so I immersed myself back into my art, and I started doing pointillism just about 3 years ago. And I didn't do a full picture. I just used it for shading on my drawings. And then I just have gone from there. I do portraits. And it takes a long time to do, but because of the focus and the repetitiveness, helped with the PTSD and the anxiety, and it does work. And that's what I'm conveying to everybody that watches the webinars. You know, you don't need to draw like me. I could tell everybody, just create something. And it doesn't matter what it is. You don't need to be Da Vinci or, you know, and please, you know, if you want to emulate me, that you can go ahead and I'm flattered, but I want you to do this. I want them to do it for themselves and create something of their own. And so far, I've done 4 shows, and it's starting to, from what I've told, I'm starting to connect with a lot of people, and soon as I just found this out about a week ago, soon as it's all finalized, I'll be on Roku TV and Apple TV doing my webinars as well.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
Oh my God. You know, that's great. And you know what? When we talked to Brandon, Mr. Brandon Cooper, because I know that he knows about this. And,
Yeah.
you know, the point is that he went out of his way to find you. I understand. And,
Yes.
you know, back in the day when I first met you, you had 2 or 3 books, I think.
3.
3. Okay.
Yep.
And, you know, you were putting books out there of your artwork, and your one of them was a coloring book, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
And, you know, to somebody that's watching the show right now, you know, they may say, oh, it's a coloring book. Well, if they understand the extent of what it takes to go ahead and create something like that, they would be more appreciative of your efforts. And, you know, go ahead.
It was a real labor of love to do it. I mean, I hand drew 40 pictures, and it took me about 156 hours to do each one of these pictures. And I wanted people to have something that was completely different than what they've seen before. And it's all original art. Nothing's digital. Everything is hand drawn. And I was extremely proud of it. And it'll take you longer than 15 minutes to color one of the pictures, I'll guarantee you.
I know.
But it was a labor of love.
Yes. And I know that if I was looking up here, because I know I got 1 or 2 of your books up here somewhere, and I can't see it right now. I was going to pull it off.
Let me check here. I'm pretty sure what I've got left, which isn't much. Sorry, everybody, I'm moving 2 rifles out of the way.
Are they loaded?
No, they are not.
If they were in my house, they'd be loaded.
Well, those 2 are competition pellet guns. The 2 I just moved. The ARs are behind me.
Okay.
In their cases.
And don't worry about it, people, because there's only like 30 round banana clips in there.
32.
32.
But who's counting?
Yes. Especially when they come out the end.
That's right. And the thing is, I haven't even shot either one of them yet. Yep, there they are.
Cool. These are, when you see these are really something that it's an honor to know this man. And when you see some of his artwork, without a doubt, you're going to be impressed, whether you understand art or not.
Man, I don't think I have a copy of my first book. Well,
looky here. Look what I just found.
Did you find it?
No, I'm saying, isn't that what you were going to say?
I wish, but no.
I'm not a psychic then, I guess.
Sorry, everybody. I do not have
Oh, that's okay.
that to show you. Which my art is called Unexplainable Art. And I'll give you a quick reason why I call it that. Because everybody, when they see my art, they think that I have some big epiphany and there's some huge backstory on everything. And, people will come up and go, "Oh, what inspired you to draw this?" I thought I'd make a cool picture. There are some pictures that have very meaningful, deep meanings for me, but not all of them. So that's why I just call it unexplainable art, because I just do what I do. There's no rhyme or reason. I'm not stuck to one type. I just don't do outside scenes. I just don't draw animals all the time. Everything I do is different, and it appeals to everybody that I found out. I mean, from the ages of 10 to the ages of 80, I've got people that enjoy my art. So, like I said, I'm sorry if it disappoints you, but not all my artwork has a big, underlying theme behind it or story behind it.
Did you find any books? Did you find
I did. I found my second one in the coloring book.
Okay.
So my first book was called Unexplainable Art in Black and White. All the pictures, of course, were in black and white. So I decided on my second book to make it all colored.
That's a pretty picture. It's
just drawings that I've done. And they're just all in color.
And I think everybody in the community would also sort of have a liking to a lot of those anyway, because they're all on the other side, which is really interesting. And I think everybody would appreciate it, I think.
Yeah, and it's been that way. I mean, I never in my wildest dreams ever thought I would put out a book of my art, because my exact thoughts were, who cares? My family and friends knew I could draw, but I didn't think anybody else would care. So it never ever crossed my mind. But I'm glad I did it. I mean, it's gotten me more exposure, and it brings me in work, because since I'm retired, this is what I focus on, is this. And of course, being guests on podcasts, I still love doing that. And then my Veterans Voice Radio, which keeps me pretty busy. But this is my coloring book.
That's pretty cool.
I hand drew every single picture. And I mean, if you can see the detail in the backgrounds,
yes,
that I did. Almost every picture is that way. And like I said, I wanted to make something different and push the envelope, I guess you could say, on it, because it is completely different than what you're used to seeing, which is all digital. Digital art's not hard to do. This is one of my favorite ones I did.
Wow.
That was a lot of work. So yeah, there's 40 hand-drawn pictures in there. And like I said, it took 156 hours.
So can you explain the pixelation again?
Yeah. They call it stippling now. I'm old, so when I was in college, it was called pointillism. And I still call it that, because it makes more sense to me than the stippling. I like the pointillism, because what you're doing is you're taking the end of a pen, the point, and you're creating something out of nothing. I mean, I just got done doing a portrait for somebody, and it took 72 hours. And I'm extremely proud of how it turned out too. It was, and the people that I made it for didn't even have any words. They were so enamored and so thrilled with it, they just didn't know what to say, which means more to me than making money off it.
Well, I knew all the responses that I had heard from the people that were at Haygood Mill when you were there of your artwork. Everybody was just like, wow, and that was when, I didn't really even know you then. I don't believe. But the point
that was the first time we ever met in person.
Well, I wasn't.
No, at Haygood. No, I'm sorry.
No, we were at Broadhead.
I was thinking of the one last year.
But it took a while for us to meet. But your artwork has carried you, like you had said, and there's so many people in the community that I think that are at the point right now where they understand the significance of what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
And the amount of time and the effort, and that we're not talking about somebody that does random garden scenes or something. We're talking about somebody that has an entirely different viewpoint, which makes you one in a million. So, I mean, that in itself carries you, I think. Go ahead.
It's an art form that, it's kind of a lost art form. You don't see that many artists out there that do pointillism. And I am so glad that I dove right in and started doing it, because I'm always trying to push myself a little farther and learn new techniques and just keep improving. My pointillism from when I first started till now is just, I still amaze myself when I get some of them done, because I can see in my head what the finished product would look like, but I'll get it done and go, wow, that's far better than what I thought it was going to be. But when I do it, if I make a mistake on them, it's not like I can erase it, because it's all with a permanent fine tip pen. So if I mess something up, I've got to start all over again.
So it goes right out the window.
And it does happen. Not very often, but it does happen.
As far as the artwork's concerned in the community and the work that you do, I know that, when you mentioned Veterans Radio, I have a few people that I can talk to from the VA here in North Chicago. And I was thinking about this the other day, and I was thinking maybe I would surprise you. And, I'm going to, if it's okay with you, I will give them your contact information. And
Absolutely.
what these people do is they have programs for PTSD. And I've been part of those programs now for quite a few years. And they're always interested in helping vets one way or the other. And it was great that Brandon got a hold of you and talked to you, and he's always on the ball that way. And I was thinking that it might not be a bad idea to just go ahead, and if we get it to those people, then that could carry through the communities down here, the hospitals.
Right.
Because I don't know, do you broadcast to the hospitals too?
It's broadcast on I don't know how many social media, just about everything that's out there. And like I said, in about a month, it'll also be on Roku TV and Apple TV. So my shows are what my webinars are readily available, and I keep in. I get excited because each show I get a little bit more comfortable with it. Even though I've taught school in the past, what's hard is I don't see anybody. All I see is myself on the screen and the other camera that I have that I'm drawing. And the only time I get any interaction is with comments. But once we expand, they will be classes where I will be able to interact and see the people that are participating in it.
I know that, there's a lot of programs over at North Chicago. There's a music program,
Mm-hmm.
and they put a lot into their music program. And that's another form of rehabilitation, like what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I know that it's good. It's good for people when they, have issues with going ahead and focusing on anything, to start out on something. Not that this is simple, but they can take this as far as they want to, as far as the difficulty is concerned, or their
Right.
thoughts of what they're thinking and what they're trying to put down on paper. And that's what I have always thought is been your real strong point. And all the people in the community, there's not too many of you. You know what I
No.
mean?
No,
So
there's
I mean,
not.
and I mean that, and I'm not trying to make fun out of this or anything.
I know.
This is
Yep.
This is the point that needs to be made, is that there needs to be more people like you. Whether or not it's what you do, or what I do, besides paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else I do? And there's quite a few things, but I haven't got to the point that you have already. And that's a good thing. And that's a good thing for you. Because, I'm a little older, and, I'm a little more cranky than you are, and, that kind of thing. And I'm sort of making fun because Carol's probably laughing right now. But we have some people in the room. We have Kim Baranski. We have Starseed Paranormal. So there's only one person, I think, that is Starseed Paranormal, and that's Reggie. But then we got Russell Reynolds. We got Jenny Davis, and she says, "I'm so sorry for canceling tonight, but I'm super sick." And that's quite all right, Jenny. We love you, and we can't wait to have you on. And then there's, we said Kim, and then we have Carol, and then we have Barbara. So, and there's other people
that so I can see those.
There's other people that are probably on a lot of those people. Some of those people are on YouTube, and some of them are on Facebook. So, this show goes on both.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good thing. And I know that, so if you were going to go ahead and give some details of how you do your show, when you do your show for veterans, tell us about it, how you would compose it.
What I do is I basically make a lesson plan before the webinar starts, because like I said, I do 2 shows every 2 weeks on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And it keeps progressing a little bit more and a little bit more with each one, just to, I don't want to say push people along, but to get them more in depth and get in touch with themselves and find out, it's like a form of meditation too, that you get into it so much. And like I tell them all the time, I said, you get to start seeing things in a different way. I see things a lot clearer now, and it's hard to explain, but it's the world to me now, since I've started using my art and being able to help other people with it, I see things way differently. I notice things that most people don't, and I'll create from just little things that I notice. I carry around a little drawing tablet and a pen all the time because something will catch my eye and I'll quickly sketch it out.
But you don't do
And
that
want
when
to
you're
make
on the
it into a picture.
tollway going about 80 miles an hour, do you?
Just one eye. The other eye's on the road.
I just wanted to throw that out there. I thought, oh man, that's, I understand exactly what you're saying, and I just put a little humor out there. Sometimes it's good,
You
and
know,
go ahead.
if I help one person, I've done what I've set out to do. I truly am blessed on everything that's happened, so quickly in the last year and a half, 2 years. And, on top of being a part of Veterans Voice Radio, I'm also on the board of directors as the director of art. I mean, that happened the day that they brought me in. And I'm absolutely thrilled about that. Because I'll do whatever I can. And my talent goes beyond just making, beautiful pictures. There's a lot more to me than meets the eye, besides being a 6'7", 300-pound man. I mean, that's notice enough.
I don't even pay any attention anymore. But I have to have a step stool when I talk to you.
Most people do.
Oh, look at Mary Lynn Best is on.
Hi, Mary Lynn. I haven't seen her since the show we did last year. At the school.
Yeah, Broadhead.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah,
hotter than hubs in hell, but it was fun.
It was really hot there. But that's a great location, and it's got a lot of great vibes in the building. And
I got to see a lot of people that I hadn't seen since I quit doing. Basically, I was doing, not podcasts, Paracons every chance I got. And, once I decided to step away from that and just kind of cut it down, it was so cool to get there and see all these people that I hadn't seen in a few years because I'd quit doing what I was doing. And it was a lot of fun. It really, really was.
I know it's a bad time for you if I said this, but did anybody approach you about New Orleans?
Yes. And the thing is, I would love to go, but because of my health condition and the stuff that I'm going through and not having a definitive answer to anything yet, I'm not gonna travel. Not that far away from home. All my art shows this year, I'm toning them down. They're going to be all intimate little shows. And a lot of them are helping out local businesses and stuff like that, which I love to help out with. And maybe I'll travel an hour and a half from home would be the farthest I'd go to do anything as of right now, because like I said, it's still all up in the air, and I don't know when I'll get the answers and what'll be happening next. So yes, they have approached me, and I would love to go, but it's just not feasible and it's not possible at this point in time.
I'll go ahead and carry your easel.
There's a lot more than just the easel to carry.
All these people, every one of them, means something to both of us, that are in this room right now. And,
Absolutely.
and the ones that'll see this later on tonight, because normally, the show goes on at 9, and it's because of my obligation that I have to deal with the pups. So I've got
Mm-hmm.
2 German Shepherds over at my son's house that I'm taking care of right now, and one of them's a big baby, and it's like, it's just crazy. But I was thinking about the show this afternoon again, and I thought, boy, oh boy, down the road here, one person that stands out is you. And and it was like, man alive, you haven't really had, and maybe I did a while ago, maybe a year ago or something. I can't even remember.
Oh, it's probably been a year at least.
And that's the point, is there's so many people that are coming on,
Right.
or going to be coming on, that have something to contribute. But it's great to have a little variety, more than the same paranormal, you know what I mean?
Right.
Excuse me, I had to have that. So what did they give you a limit as far as what you're going to be introducing in these courses that you're offering?
No, it is entirely, they gave it to me, and because I do have a degree in psychology and graphic design and elementary ed. And like my son said, you finally get to use your diplomas for something besides, putting them on the wall. I actually put them to use. So, no, Donald Dunn is who started Veterans Voice Radio. What an amazing guy. I talked to him a lot. Will you be quiet and don't you dare jump up here?
She can come up with, that's a him, right?
Yeah. I've got all these parts that I printed out on the 3D printer, and I don't want him jumping up here and scattering from here to,
So
wherever.
what are you doing with the 3D printer right now? Is that
Well,
okay to, is
yeah.
that something that we can share or not?
Yeah. What I'm doing right now, I make stuff and I take them to my shows. I made some practical stuff the other day. I made a bunch of keychains that are phone holders. Because everybody, when you go somewhere, you want to set your phone and be able to look at it. And I come up with some really neat phone holders. I mean, they're not very big. And you can put your keys on it. I put the key rings on them. And it was fun. I designed, I don't know, I think 5 or 6 different kind. And some of them are tiny. One of them is about this big.
Wow.
But the way I've got how you open it up for the leg in the back, it'll hold your phone.
Do you have it there? You have one there?
Let me think. Where did I put them?
That's okay. If you can't.
Yeah, they should be in the box that the cat's laying on right now.
Yep. Protecting them.
Yes. I told him that he wasn't going to get up here.
He said,
and I don't have another chair in here. So, he's my co-host. I can't leave the door shut because he'll just bang on it and howl. And he does it if I'm on the phone talking to somebody. He doesn't want me talking to anybody else. He's quite the cat.
So that's really neat.
But what
So
I'm making on the 3D printer now is, I don't know, people may think this is weird or not, but all the years of the sci-fi movies and stuff that I've watched, and they make a special gun for it, this outrageous looking gun. So I started making movie prop guns, and I just finished today the remake of Judge Dredd, the Lawgiver 2. I finished that and made that. It's full size. I
and
made
what's that supposed to be? That gun?
it's just what the Judge Dredd, they used.
The
That was
judge,
their sidearm.
the gun that was called the judge. So that's what
They call it the Lawgiver. The
was
Lawgiver
that like
2.
that was a big caliber, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
So
I
it
made
looked
a
like
stand for it and everything.
like a Dirty Harry on steroids, right?
And then some.
44 plus.
You want me to grab it right quick?
Sure. If you got it there
Okay.
without
Yep,
going ahead,
it's just outside the door here.
without disturbing your kitty.
Oh, no, he's fine. Aren't you, you big baby?
So I'm going to remind everybody that next week we'll be back to 9:00. My obligations will be complete Sunday evening. So
Okay. The original movie had Sylvester Stallone in it,
right.
and it was more towards the comic books. It's very kind of cartoonish. Still like it. I still own the movie. But when they redid it, they did it with Carl Urban, and he's one of my favorite actors. He never takes his helmet off in the movie. Never takes it off. Because the judges is what they're called. He leaves his body armor on and his helmet the whole entire movie. So this is what he carried. And it's a full-size replica. I've got tape on the end because I painted it black, and then I'll distress it. But the barrel, of course, is silver. The magazine does come out, and those are the bullets that went in it.
Oh, that's like fully auto.
Yes, and but it's not. It's a non-functioning. It's just basically for my entertainment, because you can, go on websites and you can buy the actual props from the movie, but I'm not spending $2,000 or $3,000. Yeah, and this is the stand I made for it that has the judge's symbol in it.
That's pretty crazy.
And it sits. Do I have that right? No, I don't. And so
slot A goes into part B. There you go. Holy crap.
And that's just one of them. I made Han Solo's gun from Star Wars. I made one of my all-time favorites, Harrison Ford in Blade Runner.
Oh, yeah.
Because he just had this massive, awesome-looking gun. So I made it. That was the very first one I made, and it's this one here.
Yeah, I was just watching that the other night again.
It was fun. And now I'm working on Hellboy's gun from the movie Hellboy called the Good Samaritan. And these are the bullets.
Oh, yeah, you want to get hit with one of them.
And I paused it right now because the last two pieces, the cylinder and the barrel, are the last two that need to be replaced. Oh, my filament ran out.
Your
That's
what?
why. Good thing I paused it. The filament that I used to make it has it ran out. So I need to. That's why I had to stop it. There's no more filament on it.
I never seen how one of those runs. I'm going to have to go ahead and you're going to have to do a show sometime and show how to use that printer.
You know, I never thought I'd really get into it like I have, but I'm so glad I bought it. It's once I figured it out, because at first I was like, oh, this is too much flipping work. But it's really not that hard. I made it harder than it actually is. And because this whole tote's full of filament, and when I'm not using them, I've got a machine that shrink wraps, because you have to keep moisture off of the filaments, or if they've got moisture in them, then they start making like spider webs. It gets real stringy. So when I change them out, they go in a vacuum sealed bag. That's what I'm looking for. So I found out I didn't know you could buy refills. And I'm just buying the rolls on these, and somebody told me, goes, well, you can get those and refills. I went, no kidding. And it's a heck of a lot cheaper.
Did you talk to Scott about that?
Yep, that's how I learned about it.
Okay.
I didn't have a clue that. I mean, I'm sure if I'd have slowed down and
well, Scott's been into that is when that product first came out, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's just unbelievable. The work that he does with it, and the paranormal
it's
on the machine.
far, way beyond what I can do.
No, well, you know what? You're doing a great job now already, I think.
And it's funny because people go, do you make anything that's actually useful? I have. But it's just fun making stuff that you create. You make a file of it, and then you create it, and you put the file into the machine, and it brings it to life. I mean, it's so fascinating because I can sit here and just watch it.
So if you have an object, okay, no matter what it is, and you have the object, can you duplicate that object?
Yes, because I do have a 3D scanner now.
Okay.
I ended up getting a 3D scanner because ultimately what I wanted to do, the reason I got a 3D printer was to bring my art from 2-dimensional to 3-dimensional.
Okay.
I'm still working on that because it's you really got to how you put the numbers in, because a few of them I thought I had it, and then when it comes up on the screen, it's got like 17 fingers and 4 eyes. It looks like a Picasso, so therein lies I that's my problem, and I'm sure I'll figure it out, but it's a learning process, and I actually kind of just stepped away from doing it because I was pushing myself too hard, and I was actually doing more harm than good. I was wasting a lot of material and wasting a lot of time. And I'll go back to it. it's just like a drawing that I'm doing. I know when to stop if I get stuck somewhere, because if I keep going, I'm going to ruin it. Invariably, I'm going to ruin it when I know better just to put it aside and come back in a month or so, and then I'll be able to finish it. But I'm one of those going, no, I can make it better. I can make it better. And then I'm looking at it going, no, I didn't. I didn't make it better at all.
Well, that's awesome. Do you plan on going ahead and continuing with that, or is that just for your own interest?
The 3D printing?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to keep with it. I mean, the stuff that you could create and build is just phenomenal. I mean, some of it takes quite a while. I mean, the Lawgiver 2 took me almost 2 days.
The reason I asked that is because if you took some of the veterans hospitals and you took some of the people that are in there and there's a little chance of them coming out, that they have some programs that are available, and if you like what you do with the radio,
mm-hmm.
It would be the same thing, only they would have groups of people instead of individuals watching.
Right.
And if you would do something like that, and they would buy the equipment that would be necessary to do something like that,
mm-hmm.
I would think that would be, advantageous to them and help the guys out at the same time.
Right. And, I'm sure it'll come down the road, because, I'm still in infancy with doing the webinar, because it really moved along quickly, a lot faster than I thought it was gonna, which is fine. Don't get me wrong. I was ready.
So when you say webinar, that's on the web, right?
Yeah, it's on everything.
So is it? It's like YouTube on steroids.
Kind of. I guess they call it a webinar because it's like giving a seminar.
Oh, I see.
Showing people how to.
But it's on the web.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. That's how stupid I am sometimes.
I had to think for a minute too. I'm going, what in the heck do they do call it? Oh yeah, webinar, seminar. Yeah, that makes sense now.
Okay. That makes it all come together. I really didn't
think about it until you said something.
I just saw a watermelon in the beginning and I couldn't go anywhere from there.
I hate it when that happens.
After a while, it happens more and more.
Yes, it does.
So I
can
hope
walk from one room to the other and go, son of a gun, what did I walk in here for?
I got the dogs looking at me strange, and I know exactly what they're thinking. It's like, you forgot about this. And they're just crazy dogs. They're big shepherds. There's the old guy, he's like 11 now. And he was, from a little puppy, and he's a monster, and now he's at the stage where he's lost a step, and he's got a little sister that's a white German Shepherd.
Uh-huh.
And he weighs like 107. And she weighs 117 now, and she's still growing. So she sort of helps him along. You could see, she's starting to herd him more than he's hurting her, even in the backyard. And I'll say, come on, let's go in, and she'll just go ahead and she'll go right back out. And she'll get around them and sort of start to like push them to get him to come back in the house, because he's grumpy and growly, and not that she needs to get near his nose too much, because he's going to go ahead and take a big snap out of her.
Yeah,
but
I'm glad my dog's afraid of everything. So he's afraid of the cat. Because the cat bullies him.
Well, some cats can do that.
Well, he's not tiny either.
So have you been watching any television? Do you watch any shows on TV? You don't watch any TV at all?
Rarely, because I don't watch the news or regular TV. I haven't in years.
You watch any movies?
Oh yeah. Yeah, on my Fandango alone, I've got almost 400.
What's the last movie you watched?
What is it that Joy and I watched? Oh, it was this French film, and it was a comedy, and it was called My Family Member's a Vampire. And it was the second time we've watched it, and it's so over the top, and the verbiage in it, the voices don't fit the person because everything's dubbed.
So yeah,
but
it's delayed.
The whole premise of the movie is hilarious, and I think that's the last one we've watched together. I may be wrong, but when she's working, I don't turn the TV on. I focus on what needs to be done around the house, what needs to be done outside, and my art. If I have anything on, it's music.
I went ahead and just for S&Gs, I went ahead and started watching later last night, Cuckoo's Nest. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with Jack Nicholson. And, I remember that like it was yesterday back. And that was right before I left the country. So, in the military, and I can't believe what a performance all those guys did in that. Because
I would have been the big Native American. That would have been my part.
Chief, just stick your hand up. That's all you have to do. Yeah. Nurse Ratchet was over there. No, it's 9-9. And he says, it's 9-9. All I need is one more, right? And she just looked at him, and he went up and he went over and he asked the first guy, and the first guy didn't want anything to do with it. And then he went over to the chief standing in the corner. He says, Chief, all you got to do is raise your hand. And then they're right now where I turned it off, or I put it on pause, was right when they were out in the fishing boat. And I just thought that was the wildest thing. I remember that part because that one guy with the wild looking face that he has had the fish eye and was trying to put it through the hook. Just unbelievable movie.
Speaking of fishing, I can't wait to get out there and fish.
Where are you going to go?
There's a lot of places around here to fish, but Chame and I were talking that we're just going to take a weekend and go camping somewhere, some place that we've never fished at or been at before. And because I bought a bunch of those lures that you told me about, is it the Haddon?
Haddons?
And you told me about them, how great the lures were.
There's so many. We had a company that I was involved with, and I had worked muskie shows for probably 12 years. And we all were working for, there's 5 of us that work for the same company. And
Uh-huh.
they were unbelievable baits. They were jerk baits for muskies. And I'm trying to, for some reason, I just had a brain fart.
At least they don't stink.
It's easier for me to show you one.
Yeah,
if I don't hook myself. And these are this bait here. This is like called the natural.
Mm-hmm.
And this was done. Originally, it was done in wood, and then it was done in plastic. And it's all weighted. And what it does is it like walks the dog subsurface. And if you twitch it really hard, you can get it to dash to the side real fast. Because that's a musky bait. And the name of the company was Sinister Tackle. And it was originally the Phantom Company. And we worked for both of them. And then the Sinister, my partner ended up passing. He ended up with a brain tumor. And we could only go up. We were doing really, really good. And we did all the muskie shows. We started off in Chicago, and then we went from Chicago to Milwaukee, and then Milwaukee to West Bend. And then from West Bend, we'd go to Wausau. And from Wausau, we would go to St. Paul, basically, because those were all the big cities for all the guys that were crazy.
Right.
For muskie fishing. And, that's what I did forever.
Barbara
has a question. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I could make them for Greg. Absolutely. This is what you told me about the super spooks.
Super spooks. Yeah. The topwater bait. Yeah. Yep. You walk the dog with that. It goes back and forth like that.
Because for the first time, well, I hadn't fished in years, so I decided last year, because I didn't have anything. I had to rebuy everything. And I had gotten a couple jitterbugs and topwater lures, and I never fished with live bait at all last year. All I fished with was the topwater lures, and man, nothing's cooler than watching a big bass come up and snag that thing, out. And oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to get out there because I bought a bunch of them over the winter, so I haven't even used them yet.
So what kind of line are you using? Not that everybody in the chats, they're going, why are they talking about fishing right now? Because we're basically done with the show, people. And it's like something that we like to do. And if you can learn something from us, maybe you catch a fish or two.
If you got a question, ask. If I don't have an answer for you, I'll make one up.
So what kind of line?
I've been using spider wire, but it's the lighter, and it's not the moss green. I use it on my 2 smaller poles, which are my crappie poles. On the bigger poles, I use
Use a braid, a real braid instead of spider wire.
I just
spider wire is just if you have a break off with spider wire, you can destroy a motor on a boat if it gets tangled.
Right.
because it cuts the seals.
I can't do a bait caster
No, you
for
can't.
my life. No. I bought one last year and I practiced and practiced and practiced and couldn't do it. Now my son, he's like a master at it. I said, you know what? You can have the bait caster. I'm going to go buy another open face. And so I have 4 open face reels and poles now. And it just got to the point where I'm going, I'd rather get out there and fish than have this mess every time I try to cast it. And he was telling me, you know, what you had to do and everything, but it still wasn't making any difference. And I told him, I said, you know what, it's yours, because that's what he uses, is bait casters. And
Every weekend, and I worked at Bass Pro from when they opened in '98 to 2016. After I retired, well, I was still working at the post office when I first started there, but I used to do demos. So I used to have people that, you know, I would get up in the tank. They had a big long tank, and I would demonstrate certain baits, and I would do all the muskie stuff. So, and they had 2 small muskies that were probably about 28 inches long. So they were small ones, but everything was going great until the one time that this one fish went ahead and hit it and got caught, and the bait came around and caught him down here.
oh,
And I unhooked him, and I thought he was okay, and went ahead and put him back in the water, and he went down to the bottom, and sometimes they'll have a little blood that comes out. Well, there's a lot of people that were in the store that don't like to see anything like that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And so she complained, and it was like, okay. And I said, well, you know, that happens, you know, and I didn't mean to hurt it. It wasn't my intention. I'm just doing a demo. Well, then you shouldn't use hooks. And I said, well, you're not going to see the bait actually work then.
Yeah.
Because without hooks, it doesn't run the same way as it would if it didn't.
You know, what do you want me to use? A cotton ball?
Yes, that's the extent of it. But, you know, we're getting a little late, so we ran over the hour, I think.
Before we leave, you want me to show some of my art?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And I don't care about the time. I'm just mentioning that because I know there's people in here that I think that Austin was talking about coming on at 8 something. So that's Clint Eastwood.
Yep. And if I can get close enough, you can see everybody. Those are all dots.
And that's unbelievable.
There's no solid lines to it. Here's Ozzy Osbourne and Marilyn Monroe.
Do you have Barbara Spear in there?
No.
Oh my God.
The next one I'm thinking about doing is Betty Page. I actually have a picture of her hung up right over here. And I love doing Native American pictures, so
that's awesome too.
That's one I've done. And
so when are you going to do Resnick?
What, draw him or be on his show?
Both.
I could do it because he kept saying, man, I want you to be on my show. I want you to be on my show. You know, last year when we were at that Paracon, and I haven't heard anything from him since.
He's a busy bee because he went back to work at the casino.
Oh, did he?
Yes. So he's still got his show, Red Road. What is it? Red Road Paranormal.
Yeah, I'm more than happy. Somebody wants me to be on their show, just give me a holler. I love
He works
getting.
with Lee Triana's group
Oh, okay, yes. And Lee
and
Triana's right
Glenn
here.
Yeah, I was going to say that looks like Lee Triana you had back there. I wish I had a picture of her. She didn't give me a picture.
Yep, says on there, "I love you, Rex."
I would, Lee Triana, if you're listening, I would really love a picture of you and Glenn together. That would be really neat.
I've actually got a picture with the two of them when I was out in South Carolina. You love my guitars. Thanks, Barbara. That's only two. I mean,
Of his arsenal.
yeah, I've got more. Because over here I've got Brian May's guitar from Queen, and I've got an autographed microphone of Freddie Mercury. Then I've got a studio. I love the Les Paul style, and I've got in cases underneath my desk here 4 more.
Wow. A lot of
Can I
people
play?
today don't
No.
even remember who Les Paul was.
Oh my gosh, I do.
Very, very wonderful
And
man.
no, I can't play, everybody. I really can't. I can make a hell of a lot of cool noises come out of it, but that's about it.
So we're going to go ahead and call it quits for the night. I want to say thank you very much for being here, and it's great that you came on at last minute like this. And once again, I hope that good old Jenny is feeling better, and she'll come on soon. And
I know I'm not as pretty as her, but I try. I did my best.
I wasn't going to bring that point up. I was going to leave that mute. Later on, it could be mentioned and said, "Well, did you hear that?" And I said, "No," and leave it at that.
If anybody's looking at this, that's the University of Northern Iowa. That's where I went to college at. The Panthers.
Do you know where the muskies are in Iowa?
I've never even caught one.
Do you know where they're at, though? I've got a couple friends that guide in Iowa, and I'm trying. And once again, I have these brain farts right now, but one of them is been around. I've known him for about maybe 15 years now, 20 years. Who says?
Barb says I'm snuggly. Thank you.
Are you moving in on Rex, Barbara? Thank you very much for being here tonight.
It's an honor. I knew once you called me, and I knew exactly when you asked what you wanted me to do, and I was going to go like, hell yeah,
because you're psychic.
I'm something.
Remember Monday nights we still have the group Psychics Unite, and when you're ready to come back, if you're feeling good and everything and you got the time, and then Wednesday's show.
Because I showed up Wednesday, but
I understand.
I never found you guys.
That's because we came on at 7:30.
Oh.
Because I was
is it going to
with the
be
dog.
that time all the time now? Or?
No, we're going back to 9:00. This is the end of it. The dogs, I'm getting off dog detail on Sunday.
Okay. So 9:00 this coming Wednesday.
Yes.
Okay. I will make that.
Do me a favor and send me a little note on probably on Monday.
Okay.
We can talk for a little bit, and that way I can go ahead and put you down. And Carol does a great help with going ahead and making sure I've got enough people and everything.
I'll come on Monday night because
okay.
That's one of my appointments Monday, and I won't probably know the light of most of it until the following day, but I do have an appointment on Monday, so I can come
Well,
on
if
Monday.
you know, push comes to shove and you can't, we'll just make it the next Monday too. You know,
Like I said, whether it's good news or bad news, I'm not
well,
stopping.
I'm sure everybody in here would agree with me and say we're sending you prayers,
Thank you.
and you know, for health and everything else. So thank you very much again, Rex, for being here.
Thank you.
And thanks everybody in the chat for being here. It was great having you all here. And it's back to normal next week. Not that I'm back to normal, but everybody else will be. So without further ado, if you want to wait for a minute, I'm just going to go ahead and shut it down, and then we'll have last words together.
Thanks, everybody. Love you, and thanks for watching.
Okay, you guys. Thank you very much. Ha 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 ha.